And this is a Fox News alert. Earlier today, an apparent rocket attack injuring several U.S. service members at al-Assad Air Base in Iraq. This comes as the world remains on edge tonight amid what are heightening tensions in the Middle East. Iran is now reportedly preparing to retaliate against Israel after a series of high-profile assassinations of terrorist proxy leaders. They got the number 4 leader of Hamas, number 3, number 2, and they just took out the number 1 leader, the people responsible for killing what would be the equivalent of 40,000 Americans in a day. Adding to the pressure, Axios tonight reporting that Secretary of State and Tony Blinken telling his counterparts in the G7 yesterday that Iran, in fact, will strike at any moment. Now, these are very uncertain, chilling times, and under Biden and Harris, there's war in Europe, war in the Middle East, and now a presidential candidate that denies the existence of radical Islamic terrorists and is lecturing you to have the courage not to use that word. Joining us now, someone who had to deal with threats like these his entire life, the author of the brand new book, From Hamas to America, My Story of Defying Terror, Facing the Unimaginable, Finding Redemption in the Land of Opportunity. He's known as the son of Hamas. Mosab Hassan Yousef is with us. Mosab, welcome back. Good to have you. And just for the record, you've been an American citizen for what, 20-some-odd years now, correct?
About 10 years now.
Okay, but you've been in the country for 20-some-odd years?
Since 2007.
Okay, so you grew up as the son of one of the founders of Hamas. The Hamas charter calls for the destruction of Israel. We have a presidential candidate that now says we should have the courage not to use the term radical Islamic terrorism, yet who attacked us at 9/11? Who attacked Israel on October 7th?
This is a total denial. And it's Kamala Harris' attempt to hide her head in the sand. The Hamas on October 7 killed a Jewish minority in the Middle East by the name of Allah. Bin Laden, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, Salafi jihadists, Hezbollah, Ayatollah, Nasrallah, all of them killed by the name of Allah. And the Jewish hatred and the non-Muslim hatred is rooted in Islam, in the Quran. And we have been saying this for so many years. But I think many politicians in this country and many other countries have been compromised. I don't know how, but their imposture is very suspicious. Why they want to legitimize the Islamic violence as, you know, this is part of our life and we have to coexist with Islam the way it is. And we say, no, this is totally rejected because the more we legitimize terrorism and violence, the more we ignite their lust for blood. And this is not acceptable.
Let me ask you this. I mean, we've seen this administration surrender in the war on terror, as far as I'm concerned. After Iran fired missiles, okay, the administration did help Israel defend itself, but said, take that as a win. Don't retaliate. Well, to me, that only emboldens further attacks. But I would imagine this time, because we know, for example, the rocket that hit the soccer field that killed these Israeli children, that was an Iranian rocket. We know that the Iranian Revolutionary Guard and Quds forces helped train and provide the weaponry for October the 7th. I could imagine as Iran is firing missiles, they'll also be taken incoming from Hezbollah out of Lebanon in the north and from Hamas out of the south, out of Gaza, which is a 3-front war, maybe even 4 fronts if you add the Houthi rebels out of Yemen. I mean, that is an existential threat to Israel. Now, are they going to help Israel offensively win this war against radical Islamic terrorism, or are they going to keep surrendering? I would imagine keep surrendering and giving in to the radical base that Kamala wants to vote for her.
Look, the crisis that we have right now, that we are at the verge of a regional war, is the outcome of the American administration hesitation. Iran is not, or the Islamic Republic, actually, and Ayatollah, they are not only attacking Israel. To them, America is the great Satan. They always chant death to America before they say death to Israel. So this is a strategic enemy of the United States, first of all. And in fact, Israel is fighting on behalf of the United States in that region. Now, after October 7 and this hesitant policy towards the Middle East, which basically we see Iran about to obtain a nuclear weapon, and they already have ballistic missiles. They have been destabilizing the region through their proxies, but also they can reach Europe. They can reach all the American interest in the Middle East. And we hide our head in the sand and we let them go. They are not that far from achieving a nuclear bomb. We want to give Ayatollah a mass destruction weapon and we're watching it. We see his nuclear program and we are in total denial. Well, this is madness.
It is a complete madness. Mosab Yousef, from Hamas to America, my story of defying terror, facing the unimaginable, finding redemption in the land of opportunity on Amazon.com, Hannity.com, and bookstores around the country. I hope Kamala Harris listens to you, but she won't. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the warning and the heads up. You know more than anybody. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.